Hey, Ben from Ben's Backwoods here, going to show you guys how the Flexcut knife strap works and how to turn this into a sharpening board. The strap is basically a block of wood with a thin piece of leather glued to it. They give you a strapping compound that you rub on this leather like that, and it just gives you a little bit of grit. The way to use these is to pull the cutting edge towards yourself. You don't want to slice into the leather, so you're working the edge backwards from a regular sharpening stone. The biggest thing to follow, I think, on strops and in any sharpening, you got to watch your angle. You don't want to go too steep of an angle here. You'll end up rounding off that cutting edge. So you want to keep your angle kind of shallow. The thin leather allows you to be able to put quite a bit of pressure on this, and that leather is going to flex a little bit. The thin leather is not going to overly convex your cutting edge, so you can actually put some pretty good pressure on this thin leather and kind of power strap and do quite a bit of polishing. Now, to make this strap more of a versatile tool, I put some wet dry sandpaper on the back and turn this into a sharpening board. So basically, get yourself some foam mounting tape. This stuff's maybe 1/16 of an inch thick, and I threw some 600 grit wet dry sandpaper, put 2 strips of mounting tape on the back of this block, and tape that wet dry sandpaper on here. That 600 grit, right from the get-go, it'll smooth out pretty fast. So I took a knife and kind of worked it like this, back and forth. You work this thing just like you would a strap, and then I flipped it around just to try to get kind of an even wear on that wet dry sandpaper. And I would guess right now this is probably at a 1200 grit or finer, just from using it, and this will last quite a while. Once again, watch your angle, don't go too steep, keep it kind of shallow, and you can put a decent amount of pressure on this too and get a lot of work done. I use these a lot in the shop for sharpening. If you want to sharpen a Scandinavian bevel, you lift up the cutting edge, get right on that bevel there, and pull it towards yourself. And when you're hitting that curve, you do have to lift that cutting edge up to keep that curve in contact. And I pull it towards myself a few times and push it away from myself a few times. Just try to do it about an even amount. And remember to lift up for that curve. And then from there, I really like this because you can really flatten out your bevels. You can really see what you're getting done. Flip it over and go right to the strap from there. And I can apply a decent amount of pressure to this, and this really does a good job at polishing. Just watch that you don't go too steep. If you overly convex something, you're going to lose its ability to carve for sure. And that's really sharp. That does a great job. I'll do the same thing with axes. Is I'll take that cutting edge and I will run that strap backwards across it. That's that sharpening board, backwards across it. And flip it over and go right to the strap. It's a fast way of really polishing up and sharpening cutting edge on an axe. So that makes a very handy tool in the shop for sharpening. When it's all said and done, you ought to be able to slice paper just like that. Thanks for watching.